cast iron block, 4-cylinder, 1.6 liter Toyota engine. I bought this motor last year and it ended up not having compression. Still zero due to a blown head gasket. Actually had the higher compression. Doesn't look too bad. And after tearing it apart, I ended up dropping it on my pinky and I've just been moving the engine and the parts side to side in the garage whenever I clean. So I figure we just put this thing together. So here's the lovely block with all of the leaky freeze plugs spewing rusty water out of it. Okay, so I got the Dremel out because what we're doing is removing casting. So if you look down there, it looks nice and smooth. On the other side, it looks freaking gross. You can rip your glove. These are just casting imperfections. So what I'm gonna do is just clean up all the casting before we assemble this thing. After a little, I ported the casting on both sides. I gave this hole a chamfer, I gave this hole a chamfer, then pulled out these freeze plugs. So we gotta pull out these guys. The best way I figured to do this is just knock one side in. Once you knock that side in, you get the screwdriver, and then you get it out. Knock both sides. And then this actually fell in. You just get some pliers, and that's it. Nice and rusty. I'm guessing this thing was leaking water, so they just kept filling it up with water. So you can see a lot of corrosion in there. Next step before I actually wash it and clean it would be to hone it. But we'll just wire wheel it and clean it. Okay, so pretty much pressure washed as much as I could off, and I just sprayed everything with WD-40. The eventual plan is to hone it, and once we hone it, we are going to toss it into the Sonic washer. It should fit. So I just went ahead and cleaned up all of these freeze plugs because they're kind of gross. So, but if you notice, these dowel pins have something right here. If you pull these out, you will realize that this is part of my floor. Hole puncher. Because, yeah, did I mention I dropped this engine? So I'll say maybe like right here and maybe right here. Somewhere along these lines. So I'm waiting on Bombay to borrow a ball hone to hone my block, 81 millimeter. But for now, I've decided to work on this crankshaft. And by work on it, I mean destroy. So if you see that, we see a little teardrop, little teardrop, little teardrop, little teardrop. So I'm doing this just to help oiling. This is really going to help with oil starvation and high revs. It's just going to carry a little more oil for the bearing. And I've done this side. Let's do this side. You got to remember, these engines, they spin clockwise. So there's going to be a trail of oil left over here. And more or less, I have a rough measurement set on these calipers on how far. So now we got to do this side. Pretty much we're going to change out this bit. We're going to put on this bit. And if you guys didn't know, this also doubles as a locking tool for your Dremel. We're going to leave it without that just to get a little more access. And just to show you guys, we will work on this one. So we're gonna do this. That's my oopsie there. Just because I got this dang tripod. But whatever. More or less, we're just gonna do this to all of them and then hit it up with a sanding bit and polish that out. Okay, so I've gained way too much confidence, and that just means I fucked this thing up. So I got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Doesn't take much. So if you notice, I can't reach this side or this side. So what we're gonna do, 180 it, and then we're just going to float it on top right there and right there. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now we're going to just polish this up. Hopefully take off any extra burr just with this thing. Okay, so you can see how much shinier that is compared to like that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is cut a little strip off of your Harbor Freight sandpaper, the cheapest sandpaper ever. You're gonna bring that, see how it's the right size. This is a little different. This is a little wider, the main bearings, but this is for your rod bearings. And I mean, I've done it old school to where I just polish just like this. You don't want to do that because you're putting unequal pressure, but I've always done that. And what you're going to do is get some WD-40. You're going to spray your strip. You're going to wrap it around. And then you're going to get some cord. And then you're going to wrap that around a couple times. Okay, so literally, we're just going back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. This actually is way better than how I was going to do it. I was literally just going to get the sandpaper and it's literally sanding one side at a time. And it's better than before. I mean, still got micro grooves, but we're going to keep going. After some polishing, came out pretty decent. better than before. And then I got this hone. I'm gonna give this a try. Mix some diesel and some oil or kerosene, and we're gonna punch this out. But for this, I originally hit this with 80 grit, but we have this homemade flapper with 180 grit just to clean up these holes a little, just because they're kind of pitted. So the freeze plug should go in a lot easier. All right, we're coming back to this, and I'm just doing a quick inspection with the feeler gauge. Factory clearance or spec is 0.10 millimeters to 0.12 millimeters. So I got the 0.10, and it's tight. I feel like I got some room to kiss the block and deglaze and de-rust these bores. So yeah, just to remind ourselves what it looks like. Number 4. Number 3. Not the best. Number 2. And number 1. So you can see this is where the top of the piston ring is. Piston ring does not make contact with this part. So I got this 2-stone Lio 1500, and you can adjust it very fine tune. And I have the 180 grit. So I'm thinking about just kissing it with this, just kind of blend the very top and blend the very bottom, and hopefully I don't take off too much material. I put this together wrong. I have the stone here, but it says stone right there. So let's click that into place. We'll just take a nice visual of a before. And with this precision tool, you spin it. You got your coarse adjustment up here. Then you have your fine adjustment. This adjusts it out, fans all the stones out. Okay, as you can see, I have my little transmission jack here with my drip pan. So this is literally right under this, and that's just going to keep any extra oil from flinging around. And then in here I just have some oil just to lubricate. We'll figure out the formula. I wish it came with a little shorter adapter, but here we are. You always want to turn clockwise. I'm going to tighten this, and by tightening, it's actually going to loosen. If the clearance is still okay, I'll say that's better than before. Okay, so if you look down there, that's actually the oil control ring just corroded into the bore. We need to cycle it up and down a little faster and RPM slower. Okay, so measure right where the skirt is. Oh yeah, we're super tight still. Yeah, we didn't take off much. Okay, well, in that case, I'm just gonna kiss all of them. If you look at the results, number 1 looks good. Number 2, meh. It's kind of shitty, but it's better than before. Number 3, kind of the same, better than before. But dang, number 4, major pitting on that wall. And crazy pitting through this wall also. So, I mean, if you look at the previous results, number 4 actually still had compression. Number 3 and 4 around 70 psi. So I'm planning on switching to coarse stones, and we'll see if we take off too much material. But yeah, literally, this is, oof, you can feel that. You can see it. Okay, so man, I worked at this for a while, and there's still pits. Way better than before though. But dang, number 4, major pitting on that wall. Don't get me wrong. Like, I almost blended this in. And crazy pitting through this wall also. And then you can still see the ring marks. You know, number 1's pretty chill. So, give her a good wipe down. Okay, definitely. Okay, still tight on the 10. Oh yeah, there's a lot of material. Definitely looser on 3. Number 4. Oh yeah, definitely loose. I freaking chewed away at number 4. But, oh yeah, we're way good. This is the 12 right here. We're just gonna send it number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It's looking pretty good. Okay, versus a traditional brake shoe hone or a dingleberry hone. What's nice about this is the stones stay straight. So literally you can see the high spots and see the low spots with this. So I'm not too worried about this being out of round. Passes the feeler gauge test. I think we're good. We're just gonna give this thing a quick wash and a quick rinse, and we're gonna see if it fits in the sonic washer. Okay, we did it. We got this thing in the sonic washer. Most of the cylinders in there. But yeah, I just figure I could do half and half. Maybe flip over the engine. Maybe not, because I gotta flip these bolts around. Okay, bye. Sugoi.